Hey guys, today I wanted to do something a little bit different and I wanted to get in front of the camera so that you could see me just like we're in class. Today's skill is adding fractions with like denominators or common denominators. Let me show you what I mean. Let me start by writing a problem here. In front of you, you will see 3/4 plus 3/4. This may be something that you've seen before, maybe in 3rd grade, maybe a little bit in 4th grade. So I'm hoping that this will be a review. But either way, make sure you pay close attention because the things we're going to do today will lay the groundwork for the rest of our fraction unit. Let's get going. When we are adding a fraction with a common denominator or a like denominator, the same denominator, all you have to do is bring that denominator over. You don't do anything. It's not 4 plus 4 is 8, so we stick the 8 over here. You keep the denominator the same when you are adding. And every time you add fractions, you need to make sure that you have a like denominator, a common denominator. You want it to be the same. If it's not the same, then it's not going to work. And that comes a little bit later on in the unit. So, like I said, 4 and 4, we bring the 4 over here. Now we simply just add 3 plus 3, and that gives me 6. Do you remember the lessons on lowest terms, reducing, and all that? There's a number that can go into both 6 and 4. I want you to think about what that number is. You said 2, you're right. 2 goes into both 6 and 4. So if we divided the 6 by 2 and the 4 by 2, then we would get 3 halves, 3 over 2. Sorry, probably can't see. 3 over 2. I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this here so you can see it a little better. So my answer is 3 over 2. But, do you remember that lesson on improper fractions that we talked about? Just a little tip. When you are doing a fraction problem, you do not want to leave it as an improper fraction. You never want the numerator to be bigger than the denominator. So to do that, we just have to turn this improper fraction into a mixed number. I know you know how to do that because you did it just the other day. 2 goes into 3 one time with 1 left over, and you keep the denominator the same. So the answer to that is 1 1/2. Since we can add, do you think we can subtract? I've written a new problem on the board. 7/12 minus 4/12. It's the same concept. The denominator stays the same. So go ahead and put your denominator over here. And then you just simply subtract 7 minus 4. 7 minus 4 is 3. Now remember, when you get to the end of a fraction problem, you need to say to yourself, is there a number that can go into both 3 and 12? And one thing that I told you in our reducing lesson, check first to see if the numerator goes into the denominator. Does 3 go into 12 evenly? Yes, it does, and you better know your multiplication facts. So let's divide the top by 3 and the bottom by 3. 3 divided by 3 is going to give me 1, and 12 divided by 3 is going to give me 4. So my answer is 1/4. I'm going to give you a super hard problem, and it's right behind my head. Let's see if you can get it. 5/7 minus 2/7. Try it on your paper. Okay, so maybe I lied. This one's not actually that tricky because all you have to do is bring your denominator over, and then 5 minus 2 is 3. Is there a number that can go into both 3 and 7 evenly? Let me make this a little bit longer. Is there a number that goes into 3 and 7 evenly? Nope. So that's already in lowest terms, and I don't need to do anything else to my fraction. 3/7. Let's try another one. I'm going to make this one super tricky. Okay. I've got another addition problem. Go ahead and solve this on your own piece of paper. I'm going to give you just a couple minutes. Remember to put it in lowest terms. All right, if you're still working, just go ahead and hit that pause button. Otherwise, let's get started. Remember, when we're adding and it's a like denominator, it's a common denominator, just bring it on over. Keep that 9 the same. And then we simply add our 4 plus 7. 4 plus 7 is 11. And now we get here and we say, is there a number that can go into both 11 and 9 evenly? I don't think so. 3 goes into 9, but 3 doesn't go into 11, and 2 doesn't go into either one of them. So I don't think there is one. But I'm still left with an improper fraction because my 11 is bigger than my 9. So I need to see how many times 9 goes into 11. 9 goes into 11 one time. And then 11 minus 9 is 2. So there's 2 left over. And then my denominator stays the same. So my answer here in lowest terms is 1 2/9. Try this problem on your own piece of paper, and then we'll go over it. 9/11 plus 10/11. All right, if you're still working, just go ahead and hit the pause button. Otherwise, we're going to solve this. And remember, lowest terms, even if that's a mixed number. All right, 9/11 plus 10/11. You just bring that 11 over here because remember, my denominator stays the same. Anytime you add or subtract, you want that denominator to be the same. Now we do 9 plus 10. 9 plus 10 is 19. Is there a number that can go into both 19 and 11 evenly? But I'm still left with an improper fraction because 19 is bigger than 11. And I can't have my numerator be bigger than my denominator. So I say to myself, how many times can 11 go into 19? One time. So I put the 1 over here. Then whatever's left over after I take my 11 into 19 becomes my new numerator. So I do 19 minus 11, and I get 8. 8 is my numerator, and 11 is my denominator. So my answer, hope you can see it, is 1 8/11. Let's try one more subtraction problem just to make sure we've got it down. Behind me, you will see 6/13 minus 2/13. Go ahead and work it out. All right, remember, when you have like denominators, you just bring the denominator over, and then you subtract the top. 6 minus 2 is 4. So my answer is 4/13. You guys are doing an awesome job rocking out with your adding and subtracting fractions. Let's go ahead and add again. Try it on your own piece of paper, and we'll work it out together. All right, I know you guys rocked out with this problem. Remember, when you have a like denominator, let me bend down here. When you have a like denominator, you just bring it on over. And then you do 3 plus 4 and you get 7. I'm not left with an improper fraction, and I'm not left with a numerator and denominator that the same number can go into. So I'm finished up. 7/11. Sometimes the end of a problem is actually the end, and you don't need to reduce, and you don't need to turn it into a mixed number. But you always need to check.